Welcome everyone to part 40 of Let's Play Final Fantasy XIV. And previously we had conquered the dungeon Brave Fox Longstop that allowed us to get a special cheese from the goblins because we were getting ingredients for a banquet that Master Gargaruju in Costa del Sol is having in a couple of days. So we have gone through and gotten most of the stuff, but the one thing that we need to do is get some wine. Now, part of this was pre-recorded in the last time, so part of this may be overdubbed because I had microphone issues in my last recording session. So this part may be overdubbed, or we may return to live commentary, depends on. We are in Wineport. Then the episode will pick up where we left off previously. So without further ado, let's continue with the story here. So this is the quest, what do you mean you forgot the wine? And this is just after the quest where we turn in the cheese from Brave Fox Longstop. Unfortunately, this was recorded at the same time as Brave Fox Longstop, so we still don't have the original audio. So you can pause to read the dialogue if you wish, but essentially what Wise Cat is telling us is that we have one more ingredient to acquire, and that is wine. Not just any wine though. We need to find the best wine in Ale of Eorzea, and he has a guy in a town called Wineport that is in Raincatcher Gully. And he's going to send us to... Now, of course, this is also one of his compatriots from the Company of Heroes. So we will go over to the ferry guide that goes between Costa del Sol and Raincatcher Gully, and we will go speak with our guy in Wineport, and we will cut and see you there. Welcome to Raincatcher Gully. Now, in order to reach Wineport, we're going to want to cross the bridge, go straight, and eventually we'll see a gate on the left-hand side. Yeah, let's go straight past there. And there on the left is where we're going. That is Wineport. So if you're new here, go ahead and attune to the Aetherites. And I don't believe I do it here, but also check to make sure there is a Chocoporter that you can speak with to get acquainted with. But yeah, there is our guy there, Shamani Lomani. And so we will turn the quest in here, and we will tell him that we're looking for wine for Master Gargaruju, and it's a very exquisite thing. There's a letter from Wise Cat. And we can read through the dialogue as you wish. Just simply pause the screen really quick. So he was one of the Company of Heroes, but he lost his sight, so he's blind. But he has gone into winemaking. He's one of the apprentice winemakers. He's not the master of the facility. Okay, and he will give us the next quest. An offer you can refuse. So he's going to tell us that we should look up a legendary wine that hasn't been seen since the calamity 5 years ago, called Bacchus wine, and it's only made by a very particular plant that was damaged and hasn't been seen since the calamity 5 years ago. So we're going to go into the door here and speak with... This guy is the master of Wineport. And he is very strict with who he shares his wine with. And I believe here he's telling the next guy off here. And now he's speaking with us. And basically, Bacchus wine is so rare that basically, unless you make like 7 figures, you're not even worth his time. And basically, that's what he told us. So it's basically shut off. And we are reporting back to Shamani. I was going to get this. I was going to guess the next idea saying the next quest is called "It Won't Work." And essentially, what he's saying that some of the workers might have a bottle of Bacchus wine to be willing to part with. So he's asking us to speak with the vineyard workers and see if one of them would sell us a bottle of Bacchus wine. And and our friend here is strictly sticking to this Bacchus wine because it is the best of the best, and so he's going to try everything he can think of for us to get a bottle. Okay, and the mini-map will help us determine which people we need to speak with. It'll also have a quest marker over their head. But we're going to waltz over into the vineyards here. And up on the 3rd tier, to our right, is our first person we need to speak with. We're going to ask him if he has any Bacchus wine. He's going to say he wishes he had, somebody doesn't. Okay, here we're looking for the other one. The other one is on the 2nd tier over in the corner. Or he doesn't want to see this stuff because he associates it with the calamity. Unfortunately, can't read the dialogue. Back to Shamani. Say no luck. Oh, he's lamenting that the Bacchus wine is lost, and he won't be able to. There's a good possibility he may never be able to taste perfection again. Welcome back to live commentary. So the next quest we have is give a man a drink. And Shamani Lomani appears to be in deep thought. I must say, this talk of Bacchus wine has made me rather nostalgic. Indeed, there is much I miss about my life with the company of heroes. After everything the captain has done for me, I could not bear to disappoint him. Have no fear. I swear that I shall find a suitable wine for the banquet, though I may need some time to think of a solution. In the meantime, there is a favor I would ask of you. 2 years ago, in the deepest depths of my despair, I stumbled across Vilbrand as a vagabond drunk. I suspect I was looking for a place. I suspect I was looking for a place to die, because I very nearly found one not far from here. It was there that a man named Drest took me in and nursed me back to health, and it was he who gave me my first taste of Bacchus wine, which helped me to find my new calling. Though I am still a novice in the arts of winemaking, I would like him to know I am pursuing my dream. This wine is my own original creation, and I would be most grateful if you deliver it to him in my stead. Dress sometimes works at the Raincatcher Gully docks, so perhaps Ritz, somebody or other, can tell you where to find him. All right, back to the docks. And the guy we want to speak with is up in this area to the left. Dressed? Oh, you mean the hermit? Aye. I toss him a few gil when we need an extra pair of hands. He doesn't talk much about himself, and I'm sure as hells don't ask. When a man's got a face with scars like that, you best leave well enough alone. I say, if you have a mind to find him, though, then head southwest to the severed string. Okay, we are in this little area here of Raincatcher Gully. So essentially, we left Wineport and we hugged the left wall until we got to this little corner here. Go inside this little hut here, and there's our man. He is well hidden. What? What do you want? What wine? I didn't ask for this. Who sent you? That weight. Dress is suffering from extreme duress. Can't sleep. They won't let me sleep. The midgets, the buzzing, it keeps me awake. I never wanted to hurt anyone. I won't fight. I don't want to fight. Please, make the buzzing stop. Make the midgets go away. Okay, so it looks like we have dung midget swarms we have to get rid of. Yep, and we have to get rid of 5 of them. Alright, so we got our 5. We actually did one better. We got 6. So let us go back to dress in that little cabin. It's not so loud anymore. Did you do that? Thank you. You helped me. Even after what my comrades and I did to your country. We were on a reconnaissance mission when the maelstrom caught us by surprise. We tried to escape, but the others, no one else survived. I didn't ask for this, damn it. I'm not even Garlean. They conquered my lands just like they tried to conquer yours. I don't want to die in some blasted jungle halfway around the world. I just want to go home. So just a bit of lore. The Garlean Empire, they are the ones who tried to invade Eorzea 5 years ago, and the majority of their soldiers are conscripts from lands that they have conquered. You will find full-fledged Garleans in amongst their ranks as well, but they make no but they do conscript men from their conquered regions as well. Battle scars. Drest appears to be in greater control of his faculties. I wish to thank Shamani for the wine. That was overly kind. Would you be willing to bear a gift back to him? Last night at Red Mantis Falls, I collected the sap from nearby palm trees. If placed in coconut shells and stored for a few bells' time, it makes for a wine. See, it should be ready by now. I left 3 shells out there. Please take them to Shamani for me. I'm glad he's moved on with his life. I hope one day to do the same. Now, unfortunately, we will not get to know more about Garlean and how they conscript their subjects into the army until the Stormblood DLC. Okay. So now we gotta pick up coconut shells. Now, if you do go into deep water, the mount will disappear. Most mounts can't swim. Chocobo included. We might need to fight Frogert there for our wine. Or maybe not. Alright, we are back in Wineport. And we are back with Shamani. It has been some time, Lightbringer. What news do you have of Drest? Ah, yes. I recall he did have some knowledge of winemaking. A simplistic but nevertheless effective method that utilizes the natural proprieties of palm sap. I shall have to enjoy this batch before it spoils. We are not so different, Drest and I. 2 men who have long struggled not to let our scars define us. I worry that he's been alone with his thoughts far too long. It is past time I paid him a visit. Thank you for looking after him, Lightbringer. It was a very good year. By the gods, Lightbringer, listen. I know you're eager to wash your hands of this wine business, but I've just discovered something extraordinary about Drest palm wine. He sealed each coconut shell with a leaf which has a very distinct shape and unusual odor. I thought I was going mad at first, but now I'm certain. These are the leaves of a Bacchus grapevine. Do you know what this means? Somewhere in Raincatcher Gully, the legendary vine still grows. If we could obtain a cutting, we could revive the Bacchus wine industry. We must know where Dress found these leaves. Here, take one of them back to him and see what he remembers. Alright. Now, use a mini-map to help you. This little icon right here is where we're going to go. But essentially, is do the same we did last time. Hug the left-hand wall via the river. Because this goes to Breakfox Longstop, so cut down to the river to continue going straight. Oh, hello again. What is it? We need to know where you found these leaves. It's just a leaf, isn't it? I only chose because it was pretty. Didn't know it was rare. I found them near the Juggernaut to the south, but I didn't see any grapevines. I saw fresh gabu tracks, though. Maybe the leaves came from vines growing on the back of one such beast? If you go looking for it, please be careful. Some gabus are more territorial than others, and you may have to defend yourself. So interesting, the Bacchus wine was vines growing off the back of gabules. Okay, that's our destination. We'll have to wait here. And that's our foe. To think that the Gabu would have not think that the insects would outlast the Gabule. Okay, let's go back to Wineport. We gotta deliver our cutting back to our friend. All right, we are back with Shamani. What did Drest have to say, Lightbringer? Tell me everything. You won't believe where we found it. I was right. The smell, this texture. I hold in my hands a Bacchus grapevine cutting. Come now. Enough of this nonsense. I've heard talk of your discovery, and I refuse to believe a common adventurer and a novice vintner could... 12 is my witness. It is a Bacchus grapevine. Wherever did you find this fantastic specimen? You're not going to believe us. What? You would offer this to me, but why? There is none better positioned to reconstruct the Bacchus vineyards than you, Master. You have the resources, the knowledge, and the passion to do so. It would be selfish of me to keep this cutting. I never knew you cared so deeply about your craft. Thank you, good sir. I will not squander this gift. In just a few years' time, I swear that every tavern across Eorzea will once again be clamoring for a cask of Wineport's legendary Bacchus wine. Sir, you needn't... Wait. The shape of this bottle, the scent of this label, could it possibly be a 1547 Bacchus? But that's impossible. This vintage has not been seen since years before the calamity. It was a crown jewel of my personal collection. For years I debated opening it, wondering if today or tomorrow would be the ideal time. But now I realize that it was never meant for me. It should be savored by the saviors of Wineport, I say. He has made us an offer we cannot refuse. Master Gurguruju will find no finer wine. You have forever changed Wineport, Lightbringer. Thank you for your kindness and your generosity. But do not permit me to delay you any longer. Pray, deliver the wine to Captain Wisecat. Well, yes, I would very much like to drink it, but I am a patient man. I have faith that one day I shall have another opportunity to taste perfection. Okay, so looks like we're going to have some cutscenes play out. Let's see what happens here. Your prolonged absence was beginning to concern me. So, what of the wine I asked you to bring? Nothing but the finest. Is that? 7 hells, a 1547 Bacchus. Even I know how rare that is. I have to admit, I didn't think you had it in you. But congratulations, Lightbringer. Thanks to you, this will be the most luxurious feast Costa del Sol has seen in years. Considering the lengths you went to, I hope our guests appreciate it. Speaking of which, your associate arrived a short while ago. She appears to be growing somewhat impatient. Perhaps you could tell her that the banquet is about to begin? Yep, got a nice little cutscene coming our way here. So if you do get a minion like this, right-click and choose Use. And if you wish, go to the character button, click on it, and choose Minion Guide. And these list all the minions you have unlocked. You can drag and drop them to your hotbar, or simply right-click and choose Summon if you want to have a little minion following you around. In the company of heroes, Y'shtola is concerned for your well-being. You have the look of a woman who has been to the 7th hell and back. That a guest should be expected to supply the victuals for a banquet held in her own honor, and this while the shadow of Titan looms over us at all. It beggars belief. I can only applaud your stoicism. Had I been asked to endure such ignominy, I fear I should have accepted my lot with less grace. Lady Y'shtola! Lady Kasmeer! 1,000 pardons for this extreme discourtesy. I was wholly unaware of your true identity, madam. Had I known, I would never have permitted my man to subject you to such unspeakable ordeals. Come now. She must have sensed something was amiss. You didn't seriously think I would send you running the length and breadth of Eorzea for a banquet, did you? Spare her your mockery, Captain. Your intent was unclear to me until this moment, and unlike me, Lightbringer has no knowledge of your traditions. Mayhap you would be so good as to enlighten her? Aye, fair is fair. There's no sense in hiding it any longer. We 5 were chosen by our brothers and sisters, and before the company of heroes disbanded, we each swore a solemn oath that any who would follow in our footsteps must be weighed and measured, not by their reputation, but by their deeds. Each man would judge these would-be godslayers in his own criteria. Even if even one found her wanting, she would be rejected without a second thought. But if she proved herself worthy, we swore that we would do our utmost to support her cause. The world has ever been full of brave souls eager to give their lives for a righteous cause, but all too few capable of making a difference with their sacrifice. To send wave after wave of hapless adventurers into the jaws of a foe against whom they have no hope of victory is worse than futile. Titan is not one to be challenged lightly, and we will not be complicit in the depths of the unworthy. Which is why the 5 of you deigned to test Lightbringer with such commendable thoroughness. Time well spent, I am sure, but tell us, Captain, what is the assessment of you and your fellows? She's a brave one, that much is certain. She willingly walked into the midst of danger, despite my repeated warnings that it could cost her her life. Her skill is undeniable. She stalked her prey as relentless as any child of the sands, and struck with precision when an opportunity presented itself. Too many adventurers these days care only for fortune and glory. Lightbringer, however, is a kind and generous soul. I am certain she has no shortage of loyal allies who will gladly fight at her side. Fishshock. Wily Uplander is talented plansmaker. Tricksy foe for a mighty rockman. I can only concur with my colleagues' assessments. We 5 of the company of heroes hereby judge you a worthy challenger. Cast down the Lord of Crags, Lightbringer Kasmeer, and write a new chapter in the history of Eorzea. With the formalities out of the way, let the festivities begin. Summon the dancers, pour the wine. Eat, drink, and be merry, friends, for today we celebrate the birth of a new legend. Lightbringer Kasmeer, Titan's Bane. Lightbringer Kasmeer, Titan's Bane. Okay, with a little bit of fan service, we'll get to the cutscenes. Congratulations, sweetling. Now relax and enjoy the show. It's only just begun. Alright. Tasting the exotic feast triggers a divine revelation. In that brief, transcendent moment, you glimpse the true form of reality, comprehending its fleeting nature, and the cry out to the heavens in celebration. When you face the Lord of Crags, think not of Limsa Laminsa, Eorzea, or anything beyond his chamber. Think only of the men and women at your side. Fight for them, and they will fight for you. Remember that no great victory was ever achieved alone. Okay, when we have to speak to the other company of heroes. Lightbringer, you brave fool. Promise me that when you beat Titan, you'll look him in the eye and tell him Lansendel sends his regards. You are a veteran of countless battles, Lightbringer. This is but one more. Trust in your experience and you will prevail. You are blessed with a fortitude to rival the earth itself. Titan will struggle to break you, I think. And we have one more we forgot. Brave Flocks. Fish Shock. Goodly Uplander must be facing mighty rockmen with clever fight, he think. Gobby Flock cannot be coming to rescue this time. You are kind to indulge them, Lightbringer. This banquet is as much for the company as it is for you, whatever they may claim. I do not deny that they mean well, but now is scarcely the time for celebration. Though they have all but pronounced you the victor, the battle with Titan has yet to begin. The hour has come for the good captain to make good on his promise. We must speak with him again. As you wish. Wisecat truly intends to tell you how you may face Titan this time. You must be eager to face Titan. As promised, we will show you the way. Travel to Bronze Lake in Upper Lenosha. There you will meet with Riol, another man who once served with the company. To ensure that this knowledge does not fall into the wrong hands, he will remain in hiding until you have given the correct signal. Give me your map. You must whistle loudly at the 3 locations I mark. Only then will he appear to meet you at this 4th location. I realize this may seem excessive now, but you will see that it is more than reasonable once you comprehend the risk inherent in our method. Okay, I need to go to Bronze Lake. Yeah, this area has a lot of fates going on in the regular succession. So if you need to level and you're amongst the levels required, this is not a bad zone to grind in. Okay, there's our first destination. Second destination. Not quite familiar where he sits, but I think he's back here. Yep, he's at the upper area back here. Greetings, lass. Might you be the one the captain said would come calling? I thought so. Pay attention now, 'cause I ain't explaining myself twice. The Lord of Crags. Years ago, when we was weighing up how to get to Titan, one of our scouts stumbled across a beastman aetheryte, see? Huh? What's that look for? Not familiar with them. He speaks of an unamplified aetheryte, which has been claimed by a beast tribe. Lest you wonder, there's no fundamental difference between such aetherites and those which you have used on countless occasions, Lightbringer. Ah, well, if it ain't the Garlean lass, welcome back. Forgive me for interrupting. I had planned to await your report, but I succumbed to curiosity. The tunnels beneath Ogomoro form a bewildering labyrinth that no outsider has ever fully explored. How the company of heroes managed to navigate it is a mystery I have long pondered. Ha! Give us a bit of credit, love. We weren't daft enough to try going in the front. The kobolds are always digging new tunnels and filling the old ones with traps. One wrong step, and the next thing you know, you've got 100 tons of rock on your noggin. Suicide to even try, see? Funny thing was, the kobolds didn't seem to have no trouble finding their way around. And it was that as got us thinking. I mean, Ogomoro mines are like a bleeding city, ain't they? And getting around in a city that big would be a right pain in the arse if you didn't have an Aethernet, wouldn't it? So it stood to reason that the kobolds must have one, didn't it? Even if there were aetherite shards in the depths of Ogomoro, you would have needed to attune yourselves to them before you could identify the signatures within the live stream. Ah, well, that's where you're wrong, love. We had the Garlean bloke to help us, see? Delivered us right into Titan's bedchamber, did he? I don't rightly know how he did it, but I do remember him saying it weren't nothing any Garlean scholar worth her salt could manage. Did he now? Locating a beacon in the absence of a known signature might be possible if the aetherites in question happen to be... yes. But in order to guide a traveler to said beacon safely, A second party will be required to... It is possible, in theory at least. Yet I cannot be certain until I try. Plainly, all will depend upon whether or not I am worthy my salt. Oh, you are lost. Don't worry about that. Have a bit of faith in yourself. Why don't we all go to Zelma's Run and take a closer look at the aetheryte? It ain't far, though there's sure to be a few kobolds blocking the way. Not you can handle, mind. So, this might be longer than the most recent episodes, but we're coming up right upon the fight with Titans, so let's guide our ways to the entrance to the dungeon, or to the trial, I should say. Okay, the kobold guard's taken care of. Here is the aetheryte shard the guy was speaking of. So this is the aetheryte the company heroes use to gain access to Titan's Sanctuary. It is as Papalimo speculated. In its present state, the aetheryte signal would not be strong enough for our purposes. I may, however, be able to use my own energies to amplify it. The task will monopolize my attention for the duration. It seems you will have to proceed without me, Lightbringer. I must needs remain here and supplement the beacon's power, lest you be denied your only path of escape. Fear not, I will summon the Maelstrom forces stationed nearby to protect us. With effort, it is possible that I may be able to stabilize the aetheryte signal, and thereby join you, albeit belatedly. Until such time as I do, you will be on your own. Now, let us see if I am worth my salt. I have located another beacon, one far below the mountain. I can only speculate as to what you will find there. No stint not in your preparation. So a stint not in your preparation. So that's going to do it for this time. Next time, we will take on the Lord of Crags and turn in the quest arc. So that will be the final arc. So this will be the final episode coming up for the Titan arc. So yep, we finally impressed the company heroes enough that they gave us a secret to the back door they used. So next time, we will not storm the front gates, but sneak through the back door and take down the Lord of Crags. So thank you for watching. And until then, take care.